Good afternoon, YouTube. Today is Thursday, December 28th, 2017. This is Matt, PA Winter Services, and I wanted to talk a little bit about my 2017 F350 6.2 Super Duty that I purchased back at the end of the summer. The truck currently has 5,300 miles on it. It's the XL. And as you can tell, it's a personal work truck. I wanted to talk about this truck a little bit. Up until recently, the truck has been pretty much perfect. Everything I need, nothing I don't. The price on this truck was phenomenal. These crew cab long beds are listed for right around $45,000, and I paid almost $10,000 less than that. I really wanted the XL just for the simple fact that it's vinyl seats, rubber floor, vinyl floor that I can clean out. Obviously, being in the snow removal business, everything gets filthy, but I have this whole truck lined with WeatherTech floor liners, front and back. Kind of anal, so I have the old towel over the back floor. Nobody sits back here, but tons of room in this truck. This back seat's perfect for kids that I don't have and workers that don't sit back here, but I love the back seat. Some of the things that I did to get this truck set up for the winter. Everybody knows how useless this little coin holder is that Ford gives you. Well, my dad CNC machined this piece of wood, and then we color matched it, and I put my bracket on there to hold my controller. That's the best spot for it. In my 2015, I have it velcroed onto the radio. Right here you can see we have a salt spreader controller bracket that we make. All these guys drilling holes into their $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 trucks, I think, are just out of their mind. However, one thing I did have to drill was this Phoenix controller, since this truck didn't come with the upfitter switches like most of them do. I guess that's why it was cheap. But so I put this in here to power all of my LED backup lights. And I have some Phoenix Fusion LED lights I'm going to put on this truck that I got for Christmas. But just a little bit how I have this truck set up for the winter. One thing I severely dislike is this XL radio without all the Ford sync garbage. Doesn't have an option, or at least that I know of, for Sirius satellite radio, which all my other personal trucks had, and I'm just dying listening to the radio. So, you know, I called Ford and they're like, $2,000 to add the satellite capability, no thank you. And the last thing I want is that external Sirius gizmo that they have. That's just stupid how you have to have it plugged in here, but I guess we can live without that for now. But anyway, the truck has 5,300 miles, and just recently I started having problems with the front hubs. You know, these are auto-locking hubs, obviously, and they're turned out because I'm always in two-wheel drive. But when I have the hubs locked in, but four-wheel drive not engaged, it's almost like it's not, four-wheel drive is not disengaging, whereas when I'm turning, you can really hear grinding and thumping in there. So I put something on Snowplow Mafia last night on Facebook to get some of that famous Facebook feedback, and just answers were just all over the place as to what might be wrong. So I went to Ford today. Of course, they told me to come back in 2 weeks. You know, please don't drive the truck, sir, but bring it back in 2 weeks. Yeah, right. So I don't know what's going on there with the front hubs. And then the other thing that's kind of bothering me is this truck ticks. I'll start this thing up. I noticed a little bit more ticking now than when it was new. So I don't know if it's going to really come up on this sound or not, but right now it sounds okay. But I noticed that when I start it, or sometimes it just ticks away. I also had this entire truck undercoated by Line-X. You can see there's really no exposed metal anywhere. Actually, the truck sounds really good, no ticking right now. I added these cab steps on here since it didn't come with any. I added the mud flaps, but the undercoating is definitely the way to go. And I paid also, I had the entire bed, 8-foot bed, Line-X as well. So it was $1,100 for Line-X of the bed and complete Line-X undercoating. And I think they did a pretty good job. I had another truck, I had my F350 undercoated from the same Line-X dealer, and they kind of did a crappier job, but 2-3 years later, they're doing a better job. Here's some of my lights underneath here. And I have my back rack system right here, 50-gallon fuel tank. I'd like to go to 100, just haven't had time to change it. But anyway, back to the truck. Everything else is just night and day difference compared to the old 2011 to 2016 style. I really wanted the white one, but for the price we got silver, which silver looks good. I'm going to add some of the Ford factory alloy wheels once this hopefully banner winter is over. And this is my original Salt Dog, 5-6 years old. Everyone has problems with these Salt Dogs, and finally I just had my first problem with it at the beginning of the season. The old digital Chinese controller finally crapped out, so we put this $511 USA made controller in here, and everything's perfect. So everyone's hating on the Salt Dog stuff, but other than this controller, the two of them that we have are essentially perfect. And of course, last but not least, this is a brand new XLS, brand new truck, brand new XLS. This has the new lights on it for this year. I'm not that impressed with these new lights. Fisher said they'd be brighter. Not that impressed. I put these Western markers on here just because the stupid cable ones Fisher gives you flops around like a piece of spaghetti as you're moving in and out. But this is my second XLS. This is just a plow for me. I can't plow without it. I feel like I'm inefficient when I'm in a straight blade. We also purchased a brand new 9.5 XV2 for our 2015 F350, 9.5 foot. My dad drives that truck. Probably should have bought another XLS, but I wanted to have a V just in case we ever needed it. Deep snow. So that's it for this. One other thing I wanted to mention, I talked to the Fisher mechanic a couple times. Sometimes when I activate my plow, the parking brake light flashes very quickly. And I just found out that there's a service bulletin for flashing dash lights and the parking brake light flashing when you're activating your plow. I don't know what that's all about. Maybe because it's gas, not enough electric juice to it. But that's going to be checked out by Ford in 2 weeks when it goes back. Here's my over 3 acres of property my wife and I purchased in the early spring. You can see two of my trailers sitting there, but a nice view of Blue Mountain out of my backyard here. My neighbor's house to the right. I have some blueberry bushes there. These are all fruit trees. And for me to get down to Bethlehem or Allentown, for some of you guys who know me, it takes me 20 minutes to get down there where we are. So nice location here. Small ranch house that we bought at an auction, real estate auction. It was the perfect next step for us, and now I'm in the process of either building a pole building in my backyard or possibly buying a piece of commercial land. There's 3 acres pretty close to us here, 3 acres. There's a building on it already. I'm considering buying the whole thing and just, instead of building my building back here in my backyard, just move the whole operation to a commercial site and keep it there forever. So, all right guys, that's it. Just wanted to talk about this truck a little bit. Thanks for watching.